All right, liberal gun owner and former banker. All right, hearing from the gun owners. I love it. Guillermo, Spanish for William. On your March 30th podcast, you asked for gun owners to write in with solutions to curb mass shootings. Yeah, who would know better? Via better regulations of purchasing of a firearm. Yeah, just something that lets regular people get the guns they want. And how do we prevent idiots from getting them, doing horrible things, and then for the law-abiding gun owner? It's basically, that seems to be the question, right? And this is what I'm asking, having no knowledge of guns or legislation whatsoever. So for some reason, we're going to bounce it off of me. If this doesn't say you're listening to a podcast right now, I don't know what does. I am a former banker who spent 8 years working with insurance benefits and a current gun owner. Can you please write back in and let me know why you stopped banking? Did it get to you? Could you not do it anymore, or did you find something else to do? I don't know. This is relevant because I have some credibility to speak on this and in my time there. Okay, so what is relevant here? He's a former banker, 8 years working with insurance benefits and current gun owner. Okay. I heard some experts familiar with the industry, insurance specifically, propose a solution that I think would actually have a solid chance of making a meaningful difference. A solution could be to require gun owners to carry insurance. This is going to stop a nut from doing something crazy. He's going to worry about his fucking premium going up. Gee, I'd really love to shoot up that food court, but god damn it, my monthly payment would go through the fucking roof. All right, I'm going to be open-minded here. Now, I know that communist ginger hair of yours is standing up on the back of your neck. When did I become a commie? I'm doing great in capitalism. I just feel like there should be like in baseball. Some sort of luxury tax. That's all. Or revenue sharing. Is revenue sharing communist? And if it is, then doesn't communism work within the NFL? We're just opening up all kinds of cans of worms here. Anyway, now I know that a communist ginger hair of yours is standing up on the back of your neck just reading that sentence. But hear me out and buckle up, because this is going to be a tad lengthy. All right. Well, I didn't stand up because of any communist, socialist, or, I don't know, capitalist thought. I just was like, I don't think a crazy person gives a fuck about insurance. Or maybe they can't get insurance. All right, I'll just shut up. You have to get insurance to own a car, right? And yeah, I mean, in theory, it doesn't stop people from driving down the street without it. And as long as you're not an asshole, it's really not that expensive. And if you are a good driver, it is, in fact, very inexpensive. It is also very easy to get insurance with plenty of small and large firms across the U.S. You can also get most policies that same day, like buying a car. So that addresses the concern of responsible gun owners not being impeded to purchase and continue owning a gun while also requiring something that is not excessive. Anyone that tells you that this is an undue burden on your Second Amendment rights is not a serious person. See, now, why couldn't you just say that without insulting? Because now they're going to get all fucking upset. Now, why? Why would it help? Here are some things to consider. No one is better at assessing risks than insurance companies. Yeah, but now don't they have to get into like psychological shit? There is a huge incentive to ensure companies are not insuring anyone that might be mentally unstable, had domestic violence issues, or other behavior/factors that might indicate they are more likely to use lethal force. Okay. Such as payouts to victims' families from the perpetrator's insurance policy. No parent should have to ever suffer the financial burden of burying their child. Okay. The government is not involved, for all that think they won't get droned by the nerds. It would create jobs, lots of gun owners to insure. It adds a step that may give any ill-intended time to rethink their actions and get help instead. I don't know about that. I think if you're nuts, you're nuts. It will ensure, maybe somebody who's just pissed off, it will ensure at least some people who should not have firearms do not get them. All right. Yeah, this does go on. Okay, we got 2 more long paragraphs. Bear with me, everybody. Now, why do we need this? Oh, I love when people ask the question for me. Now, why do we need this? I didn't ask. Obviously, this was prompted by shootings, but my own experience purchasing a firearm is case in point. To keep it brief, several years ago, my wife and I moved from our home state of New Mexico to a state where we did not know anyone. This is part of the reason I decided to purchase a shotgun and a handgun. At the time, we were living with friends as we just sold our house and did not have a permanent address. When I went to buy the gun, I did not have the necessary documents such as a bank statement with the current address that matched my documents. I was almost not able to purchase the guns, but thankfully I had a very helpful salesman. We will call him Frank. Now, Frank knew that I didn't have the necessary documents, but he prided himself in being a patriotic American and wanted to help me out. Frank told me to go to the other end of the store where they also sold fishing licenses and asked to purchase a temporary 1-day fishing license, and that would be enough for me to walk out with both guns. Yeah, well, you can see the potential problem there. When I walked to the other end of the store to purchase these licenses, a stout and keen gentleman assisted me in the purchasing this license. It was about 4 p.m. that day, and when I asked for the 1-day fishing license, he asked if I was sure because of how late in the day it was, and the pass expired at 8 p.m. I told him I was sure and that it was not an issue. He squinted slightly and asked if I was sure again. I assured him it was fine. He then proceeded to ask me, "Sir, are you purchasing the license to obtain a firearm today?" I'm not going to lie, Bill. I almost cracked, but was able to muster a solid nope. I like how the fishing guy is doing more shit than the guy actually selling the gun. I'll get that done for you right away, he says. Okay, I'll get that done for you right away. In under 8 minutes, I had my 1-day fishing license, and I was back with Freedom Frank himself finishing up my background check, and he finally handed me my guns with a firm handshake and a smile. Walked out a proud gun owner that same day. Or at least you're a good guy. All right, so you're saying I don't know if I'm smart enough for this. So you're saying if they get insurance, if you had to have insurance, you're saying the insurance companies would do way more of a background check than this fish and game place that you went into. All right, so they would do more than that. But you think that evidently you think that they would do enough that wingnut down there in Tennessee would not have been able to get a gun. Now, couldn't that person been like, you're doing this because I'm transitioning, and then when they get scared, when their corporate lawyers get scared of that, I don't know. All right, well, there's one solution, potential solution. All right, gun solution. Hey, Billy, bullet time. I think I'm going to go with bullet head. I've got 2 small kids. I'm a gun owner, and like you, I've been trying to figure out the solution to these school shootings. Well, I honestly, dude, I think so much of it is if they wouldn't fucking give these assholes that do it, more media coverage than the quarterback that won the Super Bowl, I think that it would, stop the psycho monkey see, monkey do type of thing out there. I mean, why am I getting into a fucking ice bath? Who the fuck would ever get into a bath with ice in it? No one ever, until you see it and people go, oh, this is good. And then, all right, I'll do it. That's how psychos look at school shootings, where you look at it like it's horrifying. They're like, oh, that's what I could do with my weekend. All right. Anyway, we can implement nationwide gun laws, background checks, waiting periods, limited capacity magazines, and ban certain types of guns like we've done here in California. But does that work? It didn't work with that 72-year-old Asian dude who shot up the dance hall in Monterey Park. He circumvented all of those laws with a banned gun, similar to an Uzi, with high-capacity magazines. We can't rely on armed guards or the police to handle every situation. That disaster in Uvalde taught us that. So what do? We harness artificial intelligence. Is that all we have to do? Just harness artificial intelligence? Like, you're going to say how to do that? Video cameras and security doors. We put a comprehensive system of cameras in and around the schools. We hook them up to AI and teach it to recognize handguns and rifles. As that fucktard with the gun approaches the school, AI spots it and puts the school in lockdown. If the gun is hidden, the minute it comes out of the bag, inside or outside of the school is put into lockdown. That's my solution. Thanks and go fuck yourself. Well, you went all Buck Rogers on it. All right. Well, I'll do the what everyone. Who's going to pay for that? Bulletproof windows? I mean, so you're basically, you want to go Terminator. You want to have like robots outside the school. You know, when somebody approaches, are you Sarah Connor? Are you a school shooter? They'll come over and just take them out. I mean, that would be ideal. But I mean, I know how much my computer fucks up. What happens when the Terminator robot? That's the one thing that is missing in the Terminator. Is a defect in the Terminator. He never seems to need to reboot. He always seems to kill the people he wants to kill. It's very odd. One of the genius things of that is when they brought Arnold back and they're like, yeah, he's still playing the Terminator, but now he's a good Terminator. I mean, I want to say they ripped off Hulk Hogan with like the, you know, if he has the blonde mustache, he's the good guy. If he adds the black pine tar beard, then he's a bad guy. Everything goes back to blues, jazz, or wrestling. A lot of people say Shakespeare. I'm giving Vince McMahon and those guys a little more credit.